guys, welcome back to The Funny Thing Is. I'm your host, Nicole Birch, where every week we bring you a guest who shares a life-changing event, the medicine they took to get better, and the funniest lesson they learned along the way. Today, I have a very special guest for you. He is a former talent manager and producer in TV and film, and he is now currently in the fundraising space, pairing celebrities with campaigns to maximize their donations. Welcome to the show, my new friend, Blake Reading.
Absolutely.
Nice to
Happy
meet you.
to be here.
Good to meet you. Okay. So I just interviewed your wife, and she's lovely, and we just physically met, but we met through my sister-in-law, Rebecca, and she said you had probably a crazy story, and we'll get
a few.
Yes. And then you emailed me. We emailed back and forth, and when you sent me the email, my jaw hit the floor because holy cow, you don't have just one, you have so many. And I want to get to like how that shaped where you are now and who you are now, right? So would you like to start with, is there one you want to start with in particular?
Yeah, I mean, I think the most impactful one that I feel like changed like worldview, brain chemistry. Everybody always says like, this is going to alter your brain chemistry, you know, that kind of thing. Right. But the one that did that for sure was back when I was a freshman in college. My family was really good friends with this kid. He was my younger brother's best friend, Richard. And we were with his family in Vail. We were skiing. It's about a week long. And then the first run of the final day of skiing, my brother and I, we ride up the chairlift with him. And halfway down the run, he catches an edge on ice, falls, and basically becomes a projectile towards a grouping of trees. Hits one of the trees. At the time, we didn't know, but it immediately killed him. So it was like a lights out thing, didn't feel anything. So, you know, when you think about that happening, you're like, oh, you know, how much pain was he in, that kind of thing. But then when the doctors and ski patrol after say, you know, no, it was instant. It was essentially like, you know, the lights just going off. That gives you the comfort of it, but that forced my mom and my brother and I to be the first responders before the real first responders arrived.
Right.
And there was something that kind of happened where it was the midst of all this chaos and something really terrible, but there was like a switch that went off in my head where...
And you were held, were you, you said...
I was like 18 or 19,
right,
and he was 18.
College.
Yeah, so
he was 18.
Yeah,
okay.
So he had just gotten into Ohio State and was going to go play golf there, and whole life ahead of him. And, you know, this is this like high school spring break that this happens on.
Okay.
So it was pretty terrible, but there was just something that happened with me though, where in the midst of all the chaos, I just knew how to handle the situation. And it felt like everybody else, like around, even like the other people on the mountain, they were like in more of a panic than we were. And we actually intimately knew this individual.
Right.
But I was like, okay, we got to do CPR. We can't move his neck in case his neck is broken. We got to get 911 on the phone, get ski patrol down here. So it was like immediately kind of controlling the situation. And I was like, I don't have any first responder, you know, training. Did I learn this from movies or something like that?
Right.
And then I think after that, then the shock wears off of what's actually going on, and then it hits you. It's like, oh my God, one of my best friends just died in front of me. And the most perfect person that you've ever met, wouldn't harm a fly.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Were his parents there?
They were there. They were taking the day off from skiing. And my brother made the phone call to his dad.
Oh God.
So that was brutal. It wasn't like, you know, the police or the EMS made the phone call. My younger brother, who was only sophomore in high school, made the call.
Oh my God, like 15, 16. Did he, now at the time when he made the call, was he just calling because there was an accident, or did he know that he'd passed?
He didn't know that he passed. Yeah. And my brother really didn't know, you know, how, because it was literally his best friend. It was like another sibling for us. That's how close we were with this guy. And I can't remember the exact words that he used, but he was very like blunt and to the point. It was like, I can't really describe it any other way, but like he's gone.
Yeah.
And then his parents met us at the hospital, and obviously, you know, they
terrible.
couldn't have taken it very well, but they're very big Christians. He was a very big Christian. So it's like they really leaned on their faith very heavily, and he was an organ donor. So we found out that his eyes went to somebody. You know, like through his death, he ended up saving a lot of people too at the same time.
Right. What did that, you mentioned brain chemistry. How did that change your brain chemistry? Like, because up to your life, I mean,
I mean, I was young, I was dumb. I was a freshman in college, drinking every weekend, trying to get into a fraternity, trying to impress people.
Yeah.
Thinking that I'm invincible is that kind of attitude.
Yeah.
And then that was like, okay, he's younger than me and this just happened to him. And he's like the most saint of a person.
Yeah.
It was like life can change literally in an instant. Don't take a moment for granted.
Right.
And I think people say that all the time, but until you actually witness it with your own two eyes in front of you, you don't properly comprehend and understand it, because people can tell you that. But, and it's like you'll see a grandparent passed away in a casket. It's way different than actually watching someone who's passed away in front of you.
Right.
So.
Right. How... That's going to lead to the next thing.
Mm-hmm.
So what was your life like up before that? Because I know there's some stuff that happened in your early childhood. Yeah.
So early childhood, I mean, like at that point I was great. Had a lot of friends, like college was going really fantastic first year. But if you rewind all the way to like kindergarten, like day one, most bullied kid in school. That goes all the way to sophomore year of high school. Most bullied kid in school.
That's so long.
It was.
That's so long.
Yeah. And I think it honestly stemmed from having a huge imagination, wanting to literally, like, not just loving Indiana Jones, wanting to be Indiana Jones, to the point that I showed up at school dressed as Indiana Jones. And people were like, who's this weird kid? We're going to pick on him, right? But they never forgot that I did that, I feel like, in kindergarten. So it went all the way every single year.
Was this a small town?
It was Pittsburgh. I mean, it's like a small, big town.
Okay.
And it was one of the bigger school districts in Pittsburgh. So it wasn't like, a small kind of
like
town.
Like rural. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, the graduating class at that high school, I think, was like 450 kids.
Okay.
So it's a big,
decent
big school.
Size. Yeah.
But, I would see, like, me not being the only bullied person in the school was a lot of people. But I saw this little girl who her growth was stunted. She had, I think it was kidney failure, and she was getting picked on all the time. So then I was like, all right, I'm already getting picked on. It can't get much worse for me. So I started like defending her from the bullies, but I was a small shrimpy kid. So there wasn't much I could do. So I would just take more of the brunt of it away from her and some of the other kids.
Yeah.
And then, middle school, it's still happening. New kid comes into the school. I'm one of those people that even if you're terrible to me for the most part, this is a new kid, I'm going to try and make friends with him because he has no friends here.
Right.
He immediately joins in with the bullies, picks on me, that kind of thing. That goes to high school. He pushes me through a vending machine. So I go through the glass. He's shoving me into lockers. There's a kid that chased me down the hall with a knife. And this is in like a pretty upper middle class neighborhood in Pittsburgh. Right. So it wasn't like we were living in a part of town that you would expect,
risk.
That kind of stuff to happen. And I found out recently that he died a couple of years ago, went to prison for like attempted murder or something like that.
The knife one or the vending machine? The
vending machine guy.
The one who new kid in middle school.
New kid in middle school, yeah. And then this kid who had the knife, like the final straw for me leaving that school was the school wouldn't expel him for it. They're like, we can suspend him temporarily, but his parents are too low income to move to a different school district or homeschool him. So we can't let him go. It's like, well, I'm going to move to a different school then.
Wait, how did the vending machine guy die?
I don't know. I just saw it recently, like in the news. There saw an obituary online. But that was like, both of those were like shocking. And so the knife issue not getting resolved, it's like, okay, you could have actually died there. So my parents were like, we're pulling you out of that school.
Great.
And I was like, okay, thank God. But while I was at that school still, I learned how to, like, I joined the wrestling team. So I was like, I got to learn how to defend myself.
Smart.
Got to start lifting weights, like be more of an athlete. So like football, wrestling, weightlifting, all of that, make myself a physical deterrent at least. So it's like, you can call me every name in the book, but you're not going to rough me up anymore.
Right.
Like that was almost the part that was worse, because I was just getting tired of getting pushed around.
The fact that you had to even like
think of that in school. Like, I just want to go to class.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. And then I transfer schools, and it was a private school. My graduating class, maybe like 60 kids, something like that. So way smaller, but really good sports, really good theater program. I was like afraid to join the theater program at the other school because I was like, I'm going to get picked on more. If I'm a theater
you
nerd,
do that. Yeah. But this one was like, we support your talents.
Yeah. So I was like captain of the lacrosse team, captain of the golf team.
Shut up.
And I was in the plays and musicals. So it was like, I got all of it, but I went from being the most hated kid in the school with zero friends to then like a light switch going off where I was one of the more popular kids and the captain of the sports teams. I was like, am I on an episode of Punk'd right now? Like, when is the rug going to get pulled out from under me kind of thing?
Yeah, just always waiting.
Right. And it was beautiful though, because I'd never experienced that much acceptance. And then when I went to college, it was almost like PTSD going to college, because I was like, which version of me is going to college? Am I going to be the one that people like, or is it going to be back to being the one that's bullied by everybody? And thankfully I was well liked.
Yeah. Why do you think that switch happened? Do you think just because the school was different, the bullies weren't around, or do you think it was something that switched in you that attracted that?
I don't know. Maybe it was just it was like a more accepting community for one thing, but maybe they just didn't know me, so it was just a completely fresh start.
Slate.
And they're like, who's the new kid? Like, he can do sports and he can do theater. Like, this is an interesting individual.
Okay.
But they were well known for both aspects. But it was also one of those schools where not many people were doing both of those things.
Right.
So it was like the lacrosse kids, because I was on the lacrosse team, were coming and watching plays and musicals, and then the people who were in plays and musicals that had no interest in sports were now coming to lacrosse games.
Do you think, or have you talked to anybody from the kindergarten through sophomore? Have you talked to any of those people? Yeah,
a few of them. I mean, like one kid who did pick on me like occasionally, but he wasn't anywhere near like the worst of them. He asked me a few years back if we could go get a beer. And I was like, yeah, sure. Like, don't really want to, but curious to see what you're going to say. And he profusely apologized. He's like, I see you now. Like,
okay,
you're not anything that like I ever assumed you were. I should have been nicer to you, that kind of thing. So it's nice when those kind of healing moments happen.
Right.
But I'm also kind of like, I'm 34. Should I really be carrying, the stuff that happened to me in kindergarten with me?
It's like, it's cherry on the cake, right? Because it's like, I don't actually need it, but it's nice to have.
Right.
Yeah. Right.
But I think even with it having happened that long ago, you still, no matter what, subconsciously are going to carry it with you.
Yeah.
Where it's like, my wife teases me all the time where she's like, you got to let that mask down and let your goofy, nerdy side come out now, because people will actually accept that.
So you have more of like a stronger like alpha.
Yeah.
presence.
Like if you don't know me really well, you're not going to really see the goofy, nerdy side. And it's funny that like through all that bullying and everything going on, I would come home from school and put on movies. So it's like Indiana Jones, James Bond, anything Arnold Schwarzenegger. I was like, I'm going to the real heroes Arnold, that I can see on screen. Like, and then now I've worked with Arnold. So it's, that's a dream come true. The best thing ever. And got to go to his house and, hang out with him and Danny DeVito. Like, it was really cool.
Oh my God.
But if you told 12-year-old me, like getting thrown into a locker and bullied for coming to school dressed like I'm going, in a commando mission as Arnold, I wouldn't believe you.
Yeah.
Those kids certainly wouldn't believe you.
Yeah.
So that's the most validating, cool thing, where it's like I still stuck with, the dreams that I wanted going into the entertainment business. And then now it leads to this.
Yeah.
So it's validating at the end of the day. Like, I wouldn't change anything.
What would you say your medicine was through the bullying, besides like getting transferred? Like, it was movies? It
was definitely movies. Like, and that's the whole reason I think I got into the entertainment business. I probably never would have come out to LA, never would have met my wife, never would have had our son, had the bullying not happen. And then the healing process of watching movies to heal that too. And like that escapism.
Yeah.
It's a lot of people say too, instead of going to therapy, men just turn on their Xbox.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that in elementary school, where it's like, you're getting bullied, just go home and watch Indiana Jones.
Right.
So it's that kind of thing for me.
That's great. I'm right there with you with Arnold. Commando is like my favorite. I was like, that's just me and my dad's relationship. And it was definitely not our relationship. But I was like, I want him to come save me.
Well, it was like, I go to that second school and they had a talent show. And I had never done it. I was too afraid to do talent shows before. So it's like, I'll get bullied if I do one. And of course I go up there and I do an Arnold impression. And it absolutely crushes. So it's like, that's one of my favorite things in the world to do, is the impressions, but I never did it until like in front of other people until switching to that school.
I bet your parents are so stoked that they moved you.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh my God.
Because they knew it was bad. So I can't fault them for anything that ever happened.
Yeah. Oh, will you do the impression for us?
Oh, do the Arnold impression. Yeah. I think of a good line. Get down, there's a bomb. Get out of here. What are you doing? We're sitting here on beautiful Sunset Boulevard in California. I was the governor here for a good amount of time. Let me tell you a couple of things.
Dude, that's spot on.
So it's like people were like, did you do it for Arnold when you met him? And I was like, I don't want to piss him off.
I know.
Like he likes me enough. Like I don't need to.
That's so crazy.
Yeah.
That's not even like kind of close. Like that's spot on.
Started doing the Will Sasso one.
Yeah.
You know, like from Mad TV where it's a lot of like, like that kind of thing. And that just doesn't work.
Right.
You know, it's not, I was like, I need it to be like accurate
authentic.
to Arnold, where if I called somebody and left a voicemail, they might be a little confused.
They'd be like, who is this?
Yeah.
That's really good, dude.
Yeah. So that was one of the ones that was like, I finally can let
Thanks
go.
to our producer and probably your wife who were like,
who said do it.
And I was like, oh, I didn't even, yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Dude, that's
so Arnold, if you're listening right now, if you don't want to go do ADR, just ask me.
Yes, I will do it in a heartbeat.
I'll do Fubar season 3.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. There you go. Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so then college was great.
College was fantastic.
Yeah.
Wouldn't change anything. I actually spent like my summers out in LA doing internships.
Okay.
Because I really wanted to be a producer. So I was like working on the Paramount lot, worked for the Transformers producers one summer.
Great.
And then did 6 months in college for basically a whole semester. Where I did an internship out here as well during that period.
Oh, that's great.
So it's great. Like, you know, figured out, do I actually want to live here? That kind of thing. Do I really want to do this industry? And it completely sold me on, you know, doing entertainment for a job. So
what did you end up getting into? Because I know you did TV and film producing, but also talent management.
Yeah. So I was very adamant when I came out here that I was going to be like a producer's assistant, like right out of college. And they were like, no, you should probably go do the agency thing first and work in a mailroom. And I was like, $11.25 an hour delivering mail to agents. That sounds really fun.
Oof. No.
You got to buy a suit, have multiple of them, get them dry cleaned. I was like, on this salary,
there's no way.
But so went 3 months unemployed, burning through savings, racking up debt, and was just like, okay, just apply to an agency. And so I worked at one for about a year. Okay. Saw some wild stuff, but you know, it was very much like Entourage. Okay. So like, you know, the typical agents doing coke off the desk, yelling at everybody, throwing phones, you know, you see it all.
Yeah. I have a friend who was an IT guy for one of the top agencies, and the stuff he would see like at noon on a Tuesday. I was like, okay, that's wild.
And I was just like, I don't want to do this for a job. Like they didn't seem happy. And I was like, I have a film degree. I'm too creative. Yeah. I have to like really do something other than just answering phones, looking at contracts, and wearing a 3-piece suit
and just trying to get the
day.
money.
Exactly. Yeah. And so then, you know, was like, all right, talent management, you can still mold the careers of people and manage their careers and their lives, which I like that aspect of it. I felt like getting jobs for people I was really good at.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, as an assistant to agents too, it's like sometimes for the lower people on the roster, you are the agent in reality.
Oh yeah.
It's like you're going to talk to the client more than your boss actually is. And the client sometimes doesn't understand that, sadly.
Yeah. I think when you're up and like somebody gave me this advice. We were meeting with somebody from CAA and she goes, well, you can meet this agent or you can meet the junior agent. And I was like, I'd rather meet the junior agent.
Yeah. They're actually going to work for you. Well, they want to get promoted. They're going to push you. They're going to get you all the auditions.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, if I do management though, I can produce, I can run a business, I can be a true entrepreneur.
Yeah.
But like the producing side was originally what I wanted to do. So I was like, okay, I like that aspect of the agent side, but now I can produce at the same time.
Okay.
And so went and was an assistant to this one manager, and the bullying came back from elementary school with that guy.
This is what I was going to ask you, because my friend who's an IT guy that was at one of the big ones, and I'll tell you who it is later, but he's the friend of mine. He's from New Jersey. He's alpha, but he's gregarious and he's funny and he's da-da-da. And the amount of people that would try to go toe to toe with him and like put him in his place and remind him that he's like small, and he's like, I'm here to fix your whole system, dude. Like, I'm a nice guy. I'm not here. And he's like, and they would just, like the stereotypical.
I mean, this guy was to a point, like we had a honeymoon phase. Like, so he was someone that only had female assistants for 10 years. And then I was his first male assistant.
Oh, no.
So he thought he was going to be like my best friend at first. Like we were talking sports all the time. Okay. I'm crushing the job. Like he sends me on a press tour for a massive movie to Vegas. And I'm like hanging out in the suite with the star of the movie. And I'm like, this is 2 years into my career. What is happening?
Oh my God.
And I come back and he has a root canal, and something happened in his brain where he switched, totally different person.
Yeah.
He'd screw stuff up, blame me for it, throw things at me, call me on a Saturday at like 2:00 in the morning and just berate me for absolutely nothing. I feel like I've seen
this documentary too.
It had to have been in something.
No, because there was a guy who always had females, and it was the first male assistant, and it was like it went nuclear. Oh my, okay, so go ahead.
He just thought he could probably treat me differently than them.
Yeah.
And it got to a point where it was a Jewish holiday, and it's like, I'm not Jewish, but the whole industry being majority Jewish is going to take that holiday off.
Right.
And so I get all my work done. He knows I have all the work done. I go and see a movie with my roommate. I get a bunch of missed phone calls from him during the movie, call him back immediately. He's like, where the F are you? If you're gone and I can't contact you, in under an hour, even on a holiday, like you should just find another job. And I'm like, it's a holiday. And he's like, this wasn't done. This wasn't done. This wasn't done. And I'm like, actually it all was. And I sent you an email that all of this is done. Check the list, check your inbox.
Right.
And so he does. And he's like, okay, that's fine. But you need to give me like your girlfriend's phone number, your roommate's phone number if I can't get in contact with you.
Absolutely not.
And I'm just like, that's not what I signed up for. You pay me $35,000 a year.
Yeah.
And I know what you're making. So just no.
Check yourself.
And then he's calling me like gay slurs in the office, and everybody can hear it. And there's like gay and lesbian people that work in that office too. And it's like the F word is getting thrown at me every single day. And I'm like, I am straight as an arrow, and you're pissing me off calling me this right now. And I walked into his office one day, like several people were like, when's Blake going to pop off on this guy?
Yeah.
And I walked into his office, and he's a small little dude.
Always.
And it's like, I'm not 6'5", but I'm over 6 foot. So I'm like definitely taller than this guy. And I basically said to him, I was like, we're going to have a conversation. He's like, sit down. He's got a standing desk. And I'm like, I know what you want. You want the power dynamic standing over me.
Right.
And I'm like, I'm not going to sit down. He goes, excuse me? And I'm like, I'm not going to sit down. We're going to talk man to man right now. You're done bullying me. That was when I was a kid. I'm not putting up with it now.
Right.
Like, I'll find another job. There's plenty of other ones in this business, but this is done. And he's like, I don't know who the hell you think you are, but we can go down the hall, talk to the boss right now. And I said, I'm happy to.
I would love the opportunity.
And I was like, I'll tell him every word you've said. I'll share all the text messages. He's like, you won't. So I walk out, start walking down the hallway. He's like, no, come back here. Problem solved for like 2 weeks. Starts up with it again.
It's like they can't help themselves, dude.
But then I ended up getting promoted though.
Shut up.
He ended up getting fired because all his clients start dropping him because they find out I'm not the only person that he's treating bad. I never said anything to anybody.
Yeah.
But word starts getting around in the industry that he's not just nasty to people that work for him, but other people in the business. If you're a manager, you're the extension of the client's voice.
Yeah.
Like an agent's an employee, manager's a partner.
Right.
So for people that don't understand that difference, that's a massive problem if the manager is a jerk.
Absolutely.
And there's a lot of press going on, especially lately, that some stars are firing their managers because they're bullying people.
Mm-hmm.
And so he gets let go by a bunch of clients. Company lets him go because he's no longer bringing in revenue. But now I'm working for one of his bosses. So it's like the greatest feeling in the world at the time. But I'm also feeling terrible for him because I'm like, what is he going through that he has to treat me and everybody else like this? Or is he just on a power trip?
Yeah.
Like, which one is it? But I've never figured it out.
Right.
Because he and I have never had that conversation. But there's a Facebook group. It's his name and it says like so-and-so's survivor group.
Shut up.
So we're all in that. And it's like people haven't shared stories.
Do you know
in
if
years.
a documentary's been made about him? Because there is
be.
This sounds just like him.
There should be.
The person that I watched the documentary.
Yeah. I don't know if it's him, but
I'll look it
there
up.
should be.
That's so crazy.
Yeah. And I just didn't want to manage anymore after I ended up like leaving there and going to a different company because it's just like 21 people. They're in Europe too. And you're doing all this. It's to just focus on producing now if you can.
Yeah.
And so then I was doing that for a while. And then, eventually it got to a point where I stopped enjoying the industry and making my paycheck just off the industry. I was like, there's a dark side to it. It's getting very political. People are trying to like insert how you should think into every project, every TV show, every movie you watch. There's some sort of message or agenda. And I was like, just tell a good story.
Yeah.
And then
it's hard when you're like, especially since you were so young when you started being creative to see. I'm the same way. I remember when I let go of all my reps and I think a lot of it had to do with parenthood. Like once I became a mom, I was just like, oh, I don't need to drop everything to read 4 lines in Santa Monica on a Friday.
No.
I'm not going to do that anymore. And then my reps were like, after I booked so many things with them, they were like, well, you have to be available X, Y, and Z. I was like, yeah, but I'm not getting, it's 1 in 500 chance that you're sending me out for projects where it's all ethnicities, any ages.
Yeah.
What are we doing? I'm writing the script for them in these rooms. Like, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
And so I was like, I just don't want to do that. And then you start peeling back the layers and other layers. And you're like, oh, this isn't exactly who I want to be in my whole life. And like giving up everything for this kind of machine that's going down, it feels like.
Well, it definitely seems like it's going down, especially like in LA specifically. I mean,
it's a
yeah.
I don't even, there's a producer, Patrick, I think is his name online. And he's like, hey, just keeping you guys up to date with what's going on in Los Angeles and Hollywood, California. And it's so sad because now every time he posts, I'm like holding my breath because he's like, Netflix is opening a whole new like 300-acre thing in New Jersey. Like everything's going everywhere else. Like,
oh yeah. When it's like McConaughey and Woody Harrelson, they're
in Texas,
putting stuff in Texas, a massive investment. Atlanta, half the stuff gets shot. Vancouver and Toronto.
Yeah.
But you look at California, they spend money on everything but what could make them a lot of money. And what did make the state a lot of money for the longest period of time.
Yeah. So, what was it? Sterling Brown he did an interview for, I think, the Hollywood Reporter, and he goes, they are doing game shows in like Ireland.
Yeah.
I mean, they're doing, he goes, do you know how cheap it is to shoot a game show compared to like a Marvel movie? Okay. Like I understand if you're trying to cut corners there because it's so expensive, but a game show.
The comparison on the budget is astounding.
It's insane.
Yeah. Well, you know, did you ever see the Rock's movie, San Andreas?
Yeah.
So
the earthquake
takes place in San Francisco. They didn't shoot even a minute of footage in San Francisco.
No.
The entire movie, they flew an American crew, American cast, the whole production, and built a fake San Francisco in Australia.
For cheaper. I mean, just I think the Fantastic Four, I think, is mostly
6 hours.
Yeah. Fantastic Four, I think, because I have a friend who's in that, and he can't tell me certain things, right, because it's not out yet, but he's like, we're in, Australia for the next 3 months. And it took a while before he could say it was for Fantastic Four. And I was like, how is that not even being shot in LA right now? And it's so much cheaper. I'm like, there's so many cast and crew.
Well, it's like I was sending so many like actors and actresses too to Atlanta on private jets that the studio's paying for. And it's like all the back and forth is probably $500,000 that they're going back and forth here to LA. Or I mean here to Georgia.
Yeah.
And that's just a small part of the budget.
Yeah.
But if every member of the cast is doing that, not all of them are going to be flying private, but at least like the top 3 people in the film, if it's a A-list cast, you're doing that on every production.
Yeah.
Just the travel alone is going to fund multiple independent films.
Do you know, I mean, I don't know if you know this, why aren't they just fixing it? Why isn't LA just doing the tax breaks that everybody else is doing? I don't know why they're not stopping this bleeding.
Right. Well, and there was a massive budget surplus a couple of years ago, and now there's a budget deficit. Right. And it's like, well, how the hell did that happen in the first place? And I think it's just incompetence from the top down.
Right.
And I mean, we've seen that with the wildfires. We're seeing that right now with protests gone wrong. And it's like, it's your right to protest. Absolutely. And you should be able to do that peacefully. But when it's destroying the city,
it's not peaceful anymore.
It's not peaceful. And then when you have the governor saying it is peaceful, but all of us are seeing what's actually going on with our own 2 eyes, it's like, we're not stupid. We can see it. But they just aren't living in reality, the leaders here. And it's like, if Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Atlanta, if Australia can get a production for cheaper, what is happening in California? I mean, we have a real estate crisis here.
Yep.
I mean, that's why we're moving to Texas.
Okay, you brought it up. I was hoping you were going to bring that up. Yeah, we're moving to Kansas City.
Yeah.
And people are like, well, what's the tipping point? And I'm like, I mean, I've wanted to go for 4 years. But like I think it was 9 a.m. in Sherman Oaks on Ventura Boulevard. I went to a Juice Crafters to get a smoothie. And a homeless man was using the street meter to leverage himself over the street so he could take a dump. And I'm like, it's 9 a.m. I'm about to get like the sun is shining. It's beautiful. And there's a cop probably 10 feet away. Can't do anything.
No.
Can't do anything.
Well, we lived in North Hollywood for a little bit. And I mean, it was great for the first year that we lived there. And then like year 2, my car gets stolen, like in our neighborhood.
Yeah.
And we never got it back. It's somewhere in Tijuana right now, probably. The cops gave up after 2 days. They're like, you're not getting your car back.
Yeah.
And then I was driving to the office I was working at one day, pull out of the garage at like 7:30 in the morning, and there's a butt-ass naked man in the middle of Lankershim Boulevard. There's women walking down the street with strollers, and he's masturbating in the middle of the street. And I'm like, that's LA.
Yeah.
People are like, oh, Malibu. And I'm like, yeah, drive inland. Like,
drive inland,
that's LA.
dude.
Like, this is not Nobu. Nobu is not LA.
No,
it's way different.
No, we had a pipe bomb go off at like 2:00 in the morning. It was just me and my daughter. And I've never been, and you could all the neighbors. And I'm like, we have to stay. And it's just us two. And I remember it woke her up. She was screaming. I had her barricaded between the dresser and the bed. And I pulled the bed closer and it was just like, we just stayed there until like 4:00 in the morning. And they were like, yeah, it's confirmed it was a pipe bomb. It blew out the side of a car, like in front, like directly in front of our apartment. And I'm like, and that was a while ago. Yeah. And I remember the morning of, I think it was January 7th or 8th. I woke up that morning and I was like, we're planning to move to Kansas City. We got the okay to move to Kansas City. And so we're like, okay. And I was like, I just want confirmation. So I remember saying a prayer and I was like, I just want confirmation that this is what I'm supposed to do. And that was the morning we got the wildfires. And I was like, time to go. Yep. Let's go. And we got evacuated
and there's
too.
Literally 2 properties right now. Cause it's June 22nd today. There's 2 properties in the Palisades that have permits to rebuild.
Shut up.
2.
What? That's so stupid.
I wouldn't even want to rebuild at one point. So we live in Woodland Hills and we had to evacuate. We stayed at an awesome hotel in Marina. And one of the mornings we went down to the lobby. Thank God our place was fine. But this elderly couple, like probably late 70s, was sitting in the lobby having breakfast as well. And we just naturally get to talking with them. They lost everything in the Palisades. And we felt so bad. Carla prayed for them at one point, which is just a beautiful moment. They really appreciated it. And then they told us, like, we're not going to rebuild. Like, our children live in Florida. We're moving to Florida. Yeah. We're not coming back. They're like, this isn't the first time this has happened. It won't be the last time. Yeah. The incompetence is crazy. Like, you could have prevented this.
Well, just that they were all over the city. It wasn't even local. To go from Pasadena.
Pasadena.
That's what
Woodland Hills. Like, it was up in Ventura, one of them. Then you got the Palisades one.
Ours was, we had to move because of the Hollywood Hills one, because of Runyon. And I'm just like, and I remember Matt, my husband's parents are from Dallas. And of course, I mean, there could be an earthquake in Napa, and I've got family members going, are you guys safe? And it's like, I don't think you understand how big California is.
It's huge.
But like with her, they're like, I was like, actually, I'm driving from Sherman Oaks back over the hill. I'm stuck in traffic. Matt didn't even know we were being evacuated until all the neighbors were like, it's time to go.
Well, we were getting false evacuation notices too.
Yeah.
That was insane. Get your shit together.
That was insane. Yeah. And what's funny is we technically found out after we'd evacuated to Palm Springs, we technically found out, which his parents were like, we've got a hotel for you for 3 days. Just go there. We want to make sure it's far enough out. Right. Yeah. And I was like, well, because Everly also has like respiratory. So we were like, we got to get away from the air. And so, but like, as I'm driving in, Matt didn't even know. And then my neighbors are calling me going, nope, we got the pings. And then as I'm driving in, I got the ping. And then later we found out, oh, actually it was 3 blocks up. We weren't even supposed to be evacuated. Yeah. But my neighbors were like, if you would have seen the smoke, we needed to be evacuated.
Yeah, you weren't going outside and walking your dog. That's not
happening. No. It's just like, it's all just chaos. Well, I did not know that this interview was going to this could be a whole other 3 hours.
A whole other 3 hours. I mean, I can go on about this stuff like great, but that's like one of the reasons we're going to Texas is the incompetence here is just growing. It's insane. It's just growing. It doesn't change. But then it's even down to, we're talking about like safety issues too with some stuff where the state just is trying to pass a law now where if someone breaks in your house, say you have a gun that you're allowed to have, it's now a crime to use it against the person that's breaking into your house. You have to leave your house out the back door. If you shoot the person in your own house, you're going to jail.
That's insane.
You broke into my house.
Yeah.
Like my child sleeps there. I'm going to shoot you.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Like it's just going to happen.
Absolutely.
So I'm like, Texas, it's like, you come in my front yard.
Yeah.
Like you're not supposed to be there.
Yeah. You should be able to protect.
Different.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I mean, like I have a concealed carry permit. Took over a year to get one in California. They don't want you to have it. They have you jump through every hoop possible to get it. And I'm like, being a father, it's like my number one duty is to protect my family.
Right.
I'm going to do everything I can to get that permit. But then when you find out, it's like, oh, but if you use the thing that you work so hard to get, you're still going to go to jail. So we're going to protect the criminals instead of the law-abiding citizens here.
Yeah.
And it's just...
And even we had issues in Sherman Oaks where I work. We had issues with homeless that you could tell were having a psychological break that needed help.
Mm-hmm.
And even when we were calling, I'm not going to name specific politicians. I can, Nyatha, it's you. We would call her office.
Yeah.
We would call her office and be like, hey, can you send somebody? These people need help. They need like medical care. They've got sores on their feet, sores on their mouths. We're feeding them. We're bringing them food. They don't know that they're on earth right now.
Right.
So let alone that and one of them died. So sad. Because we would feed her every morning.
Yeah.
And she died because she wasn't eating the food. She was like squirreling it away because I don't know why she was doing that, but they ended up finding like all of our to-go boxes still filled with rotting food that she was hiding. And I'm like, you guys could have fucking picked her up. I don't know if you 5150 her or whatever you have to do. And I'll be the first to say, I don't know what the solution is with that. I really don't, because like there's reasons why
$68 billion on the homeless crisis in California.
And they don't even, when these people, and she would have gone with them.
Right.
She's not one that would have fought, because that's what this whole thing was like. Well, there was a guy who like shit along Ventura Boulevard, picked it up and then smeared it across a business. And they were like, can you come get him? And she goes, no, it's a human rights violation.
What about the human rights of the store owner?
The store owner, the people going in there, the children that witnessed it.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? There was a guy on Hollywood Boulevard during Oscar week, and he had come full nude, spray painted himself gold, so he looked like the Oscar statue, but he's full nude, right? I'm walking with my daughter going to a CVS, and he's around the corner. Again, another cop is there with his partner, and he's like got his, the radio on his shoulder, and he's like, okay. Understood. And he says to his partner, can't do anything. And the partner, you can tell, is probably a rookie. And he's like, why not? And he goes, because he's exhibiting his like basically right to express his artistic expression. I'm like, my daughter, if I didn't cover her eyes and catch it soon enough, would have seen a dong for the first time at age like 18 months.
But then it's like, doing? If one of us did that, we walked down the street naked, we're the first people in jail.
Yeah.
As it should be.
But then there's just like this pass. I have so many stories. I would love to know your stories.
Yeah.
I'm going to read this next part.
Okay.
And then we'll start going through them. Okay. Oh my God, we're at 38 minutes. Okay. So then as I'm reading the email, as you and I are going back and forth, you share that you were robbed by someone as part of a gang initiation.
Mm-hmm.
In a separate instance, you and your wife survived a drive-by shooting.
Mm-hmm.
Then in another occasion, while checking out on a client's house after a burglary, the burglars showed back up fully armed. And those are 3 separate occasions that you lived through.
Yeah.
What in the Lifetime Network, what is happening? Those are insane. Can you, let's start with the gang initiation.
Yeah. That was college. That was junior year of college.
Location?
Syracuse, New York.
Okay.
Went to Syracuse University. Junior year, I had an off-campus apartment. It was technically South Campus, a part of campus. Syracuse people know where that is.
Okay.
But it's very commonly understood that during fall rush for fraternities and sororities, it also coincides with gang initiation time in the city. So like outside of the university, not a safe area.
Okay.
Syracuse, like great town, but their government needs to get their shit together too.
Okay.
So I'm like coming back from a party. I'm dressed like a fraternity guy, pea coat, polo, boat shoes, khakis, like douchebag, right?
All of it.
And so I guess this young guy, I mean, he was probably maybe 140 pounds soaking wet, like not a big dude at all, maybe 17 or 18 years old. He was trying to get initiated into the gang. I guess his older brother was part of the gang too. And they basically said, go rob a frat guy and bring back his like student ID as proof that you did it.
Oh my God.
And so I'm coming back. I get off the bus, walking back to my apartment, and I hear someone from behind me go, yo, pussy. And I turn around thinking like, it's just one of my fraternity brothers or a friend from class or something. So I turn around, I'm laughing already.
Oh no.
And he sees me laughing. He's pissed. And he's like, I can't remember what he said, but it was something like, you know, give me everything that you have,
right?
You know, and I see it as a knife. And I'm like, oh shit, okay, this is going to be interesting. But for some reason, I was just like, I'm not giving him anything. So I was like, I'm going home. I suggest you do the same. Stupidly, and I highly recommend nobody ever does this, I turn around and start walking.
Oh fuck!
This is just, I would never do that today.
Okay.
So I hear him like scream at me again. I keep walking. I know that he's not running or walking after me because I can't hear steps. Says something else. I ignore him. I keep walking. Again, very stupid. Wouldn't recommend. Then I hear him start running towards me. I'm like, oh shit. Am I getting stabbed right now? I turn around, get into a fighting stance. I'm like, I'm probably getting stabbed no matter what, but at least like I'm going to fight this guy.
Right.
He trips because it's Syracuse. It's 11 degrees out. There's ice on the ground. He drops the knife. It slides under a VW Beetle.
Shut the fuck up.
And I'm like, you done goofed. And so I just jump on him because he's already on the ground.
Yeah.
And I just punched him in the face until I couldn't feel my hand anymore.
Okay.
And so literally like this knuckle slid over. So it's like, you see how there's a space there? They're touching.
Oh my God.
So it's like permanently shifted over. Cops show up. He's in handcuffs on a stretcher, which is just a funny image. And the cop was like, you aren't getting charged with anything. You got to beat the shit out of somebody for free. Like,
you also don't live in LA where you would have been charged probably.
Exactly. I would have been charged here for sure.
Yeah.
And he was like, do you want medical attention? I was like, no, I got to show everybody this. This is funny. So I was like already drunk. And I was like, oh, the girls are going to love this. They did not love it. They're like, get out of here with blood all over you. And one of my roommate's friends is like a nurse in training or whatever. She's in nursing school. And she like wrapped it up in our apartment.
Yeah.
And I mean, my hand hurt.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah.
Fuck.
And
was
so
it
like
broken?
I didn't have to, I don't know, because I never got it like formally checked, but it shifted over. So it must have been. But yeah, that one was crazy.
Okay. Jesus Christ. Okay. Then the next one, the drive-by shooting, which I think is that
was at
the
Woodman.
Woodman? Yeah. Okay. So I remember this.
So that's
what
like
year?
Our 20. It was right after COVID.
That's what I was going to say. It was right after the pandemic.
So it might have been like 21.
Okay.
I think it was like right when the bars reopened. It was when they had the sidewalk seating outside everywhere.
Yep.
And,
I was there 2 days before that too, which is insane.
So like
the Woodman, by the way, is a bar on Ventura Boulevard in Sherman Oaks, California.
Yeah. And like I've always been a regular there. I was there opening day. You know, that's literally like I lived there a block from that bar. So I was always going there. And then when Carla and I started dating, I would always bring her. And we're sitting inside. We had some other friends with us. And I guess what ended up happening was these two guys outside were in an argument with each other. One of the guys did not like that he was losing the argument. He drove home, got a gun, came back with a gun in his car and was firing it out the window at whoever he was in the argument with. Thank God he's probably too bad he's a bad shot.
Right.
And didn't hit his intended target, but he hit like two innocent girls who were at the bar. We didn't see the one of the ones that got hit, but when we got outside, we saw one of them. She got shot in the foot. Carla immediately, like her and I, like jumped to like tend to her. Carla was like, I think holding her foot or helping her take her shoe off. It was something like that. But like when it happened, we were in the bar and we heard the shots go off, and it was, you didn't realize like, oh, like we're getting shot at right now. That's just a loud bang. And then it happened again. And so I like shoved Carla on the ground. She's like, what the hell are you doing? Yeah. And then me, like an idiot, I'm just standing there like this, like looking around. But it was almost again, like in that chaos, like with the ski accident, just like, I'm not worried about myself, just like handle everybody else kind of thing. But I also think I was drinking and not thinking like, take care of yourself, just shove your girlfriend on the ground. Right? I think that's what it was. But then we all ran to the office upstairs in the back. and there's people screaming and crying up there. I was like, well, we don't know if this is going to turn into a mass shooting or anything like that. So it's like, if the person gets out of the car and then wants to come in and shoot up the bar, because we didn't know it was technically a drive-by at the time.
Yeah.
Like, we have to get somewhere and hide, but we don't want to run out of the bar.
Right.
And there's people up in that office screaming and crying and making a lot of noise. And we're like, everybody needs to just shut up right now, because if they hear us up here and they come in the bar with a gun, then all of us are screwed.
Yeah.
So we're trying to get everybody calm up there. And then everything like simmers down. We get home. And it's like that just adrenaline dump from being in an active shooting is insane.
Yeah.
And that's a couple days later, the bar's reopened. We're back there having beers like nothing ever happened.
Nobody died.
I don't think so.
No, right. Yeah.
But it's just very strange. Like, that's kind of the vibe with LA. It's like after the fires, people were just back at work. People were back drinking again. It's like,
and there's no, I get it.
Yeah.
They just slide right back into normal. Like, it's okay. I also think it's kind of like that. If you know the frog in the boiling water theory, where it's like, if you throw a frog into boiling water, it'll immediately jump out or try to jump out. If you put it in lukewarm water and slowly turn it up, it'll die. By the way, that's actually not true. They've done science on that, and that's not actually what happens. They get out of the fucking water. But the point is that I feel like LA is like that. They've just keep turning up the heat. And what surprises me now and shocks me now is like everybody else's Tuesday. And I'm like, you guys know that's not normal, right?
Well, it's like the whole city's not normal. We're in a city with actors and people who play pretend for a living. So I think it's like when something crazy goes down like that, it's just like, oh, it's just another Tuesday.
Well, I also think if they're from LA is one thing, but if they don't go home, like I get to go home to Kansas. My mom's on 5 acres. Yeah. I get to be with my sister and my nephews and nieces running around on grass, and like, that would be jarring. Yeah. And when they're calling to check on you, that they're like, that's not okay. Yeah. If you don't have that, this is just...
Oh, if you didn't grow up without it. I mean, it's like when I go home to Pittsburgh, I'm like, oh my God, real people. Thank God. Like these people actually exist. And they're hilarious. Yeah. But they're in touch with reality too. Yeah. And they hear about the stuff that's going on here, and they're just like, how are you?
Why are you still there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody in Pittsburgh's like, you're going to come back here at some point, aren't you? And I'm like, no, we're going to Texas, but like still way better than LA.
Yeah. Yeah. It's so funny how it's changed for me so much. And then the last one, the client's house.
Yeah. Can't say who it is because she's like a fairly well-known actress. But she was shooting a movie out of the country, and her husband's a director, and he was shooting his TV show in another state. And so the house was essentially vacant. The maid was coming like a couple days a week, essentially, to check on the house, clean everything up. And there was a string of robberies at the time. This is like 2016 or 17, I think it was. But like the same group hit like Nicki Minaj's house, Justin Bieber's house. They were all in the same neighborhood.
Got it.
It was like a massive gang that was doing this. I guess they had stolen like a Rolls Royce, and they were driving it through the neighborhood, so it didn't look suspicious because it's Beverly Hills. So it's like if you roll in there with like a crummy vehicle, it's going to look a little suspicious.
Yeah,
but Rolls Royce parked on the street, nobody's going to bat
it's probably legit. Yeah.
Yeah. And so I get a phone call like first thing in the morning on like a Wednesday saying like someone robbed our house. The maid's freaking out. She doesn't speak English. Can you go up there and handle it? Yeah. And so I'm like, okay, cool. I'll go up there. So I get there. I had never met the maid before. She thought I was trying to like rob the house.
Oh, no.
Like I was coming back and like, I don't speak Spanish. So it's like, I'm trying my best to explain it to her. I was like, you can leave, I'll handle it, that kind of thing. Then there's a fight when I get on the phone with LAPD between them and Beverly Hills. They're like, it's a 90210 area code. It's Beverly Hills. Beverly Hills said, we aren't responding to that. LAPD said that's Beverly Hills jurisdiction. So they're just directing me back to each other. So 8.5 hours go by before any police response. And I'm standing in this house with like broken glass everywhere, a safe that's been broken into, stuff that's been stolen. It's clearly Beverly Hills. But still, LAPD is the one that ends up showing up after 8.5 hours. But because it's at the end of the one shift, they have to send more people. Whoa. So it's like they're only there 20 minutes, take some pictures, and I have to wait another 2 hours for the next round of cops to show up.
Oh
it was just insane. So then like me and a neighbor, we like board up the back window that had been smashed. I mean, these guys were good. They cut the power so the alarm never went off. The cameras never got tripped. And then they took like the box that records the camera footage. So the cops are like, shit, we're never going to get footage of this. We just know it's a break and entering. There's no footage. And then It's a Sunday morning. I'm having brunch with 2 buddies at NoHo Diner. And the husband calls me and he's like, hey, so we think that we have a backup of all security footage on our DVR. Would you mind going back up to the house and looking at the DVR for the week? So I'm like, yeah, sure. Like after I finish eating, I'll go up there, comb through 3 days worth of footage, essentially. So I'm there for hours looking through footage on their DVR.
Yeah. We
find it. And so it's 2 guys with the scariest like horror movie masks on that break into the house through the back door. And it's all on camera. So I start to download it to a hard drive. It says it's going to take 3 hours to download. So I'm like, I'll just make myself at home in this awesome house with a pool. So I'm just like hanging out. And I get a phone call from somebody that's just like, just be careful because a lot of people return to the scene of the crime. And they might realize that like they left something or whatever. So I'm now like hair on the back of my neck standing up. And I'm like, I pray that doesn't happen. Right. Of course, that's what happens. So I'm also monitoring the live feed while I'm downloading this footage.
Okay, that's good.
The doors are locked, thankfully, and we've boarded up the windows that they broke. But you can see they're approaching from the front now, whereas they robbed it from the back. And so they're approaching the front door. And I get on the phone with the client and I'm like, hey, where's your liquor cabinet? Because if I'm going to die right now, I want to die drunk. So I can see they have guns in the video footage. And I didn't own a gun yet at this time. Otherwise, I would have had it there. So I grabbed the biggest knife I could find from our kitchen. And then I find like this big Jack Daniels bottle. And I'm like taking swigs. I'm like, this is a clubbing weapon. This is a stabbing weapon. And I'm hiding behind a window and the exterior lights are off. And so I'm like, if they come in, like I'm going to hit the one with this and stab the other and throw with this. It's not going to work. But, you know, at least I've had some drinks. And so I flick on the lights and it spooks them and they ran away.
Oh my God.
And what's funny is I still have her kitchen knife in our kitchen. Because when I got in my car, I was like, I'm not walking out unarmed.
Yeah.
So I like put it in like the side door thing and then forgot it was there. And then now it's just in our kitchen.
That's so funny.
I don't think I've ever told her that I still have her knife. So if you want it back, if you see this,
you can have your knife back.
You can have your Wusthof back. Yeah.
That's crazy. Okay. So let's get to the medicine. I mean, I don't know if you want to say medicine, like how do you seem not like too stricken with PTSD from all this stuff. So like, how do you do that?
I wouldn't say like I'm like too messed up by it. I mean, it's like, it's constant reminders for sure. In like certain moments, not to take, you know, stuff for granted or, you know, like truly live in the moment, not let really big stuff get to you. I try not to get really bad road rage. My wife will tell you different.
Yeah.
But I think all of those things combined is just like crazy things can happen in your life and it can end at any moment. So it's like, have fun while you're here. Don't let other people tell you what to do.
Right.
Like make your own path truly, but also give back while you're doing it. And that connects to the philanthropy space that I'm working in now.
Yeah.
Because it's like, if you make it through life and you feel like you're doing well enough, it's like you should do something to give back. And to make it a full-time career now to work in that space is extremely rewarding.
You like that so much better than
I mean, it's truly for the soul, where I felt like my soul was getting crushed working in entertainment. I was like, I'm fulfilling my childhood dream, but I didn't realize my dream was dog shit.
Yeah.
You know? It's like, now I still get to work with almost more famous people than I worked with when I worked in entertainment. Right. But I'm having way more fun.
Yeah, because they're giving.
Yeah, they're actually giving. And especially the ones that are extremely generous that own their own foundations. You get to work with them. Mm-hmm. They really care. And it makes you feel better about the industry. Yeah. Whereas I feel like if I was still working in entertainment full time, it wouldn't be as fun.
Yeah.
So I had to, like, going through all of that in my life, I had to do something that's like giving back and more for the soul. Because it's like, if you're spending all this time at a job, you can't hate it if you have a worldview like the one that's kind of been created in my own head with everything that's happened.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's so funny. There's like the spiritual thing that was going on, and it was like talking about how the first thing is, you know, get your vibration high, lean into gratitude. Like if you're feeling depressed or negative or whatever, lean into gratitude is the first step. And then it's find your higher calling. So maybe it is filmmaking, maybe it is something like that, right? But then the biggest one that you want to get to next is the highest, is giving back to everybody. And that's your souls. And if you can connect them all, which it sounds like that's exactly what you're doing, everything's connected and in line.
Yeah.
With that. And that's the hardest thing for people to do, is to give back globally.
Exactly. And I think too, it's like, there's nothing that feels better for you at the end of the day than doing something for somebody else. And it's like people talk about like love languages, like act of service, this and that. And for me, it's like, I love active service done to me, but I'm like, if I'm doing good for somebody else, like I mentor kids that went to the same alma mater as me all the time. Like they're coming out here doing internships and I'm like, I want to take you out for a coffee, tell you like, don't go into these pitfalls. Like here's the way to navigate it best at like an early stage in your career. But it's like career wise, giving back, there's honestly nothing better. Like working with Arnold and his foundation, it was after school programs for kids that are in underserved communities. And they, you know, there's this danger hour between like 3 and 6 p.m. where they can get into a lot of trouble. And if they have sports programs after school, it totally avoids that danger period. And then other foundations working with veterans, like that is a massive thing for me. The government doesn't help them enough, from the Fed to the states. And I'm like, if we can work with foundations that are giving hundreds of thousands of dollars to these, you know, people that need it the most, that's a hell of a purpose and makes me feel way better about, you know, whatever I'm doing with my life.
Dude, that is amazing. That's awesome. How long have you been doing that?
Almost 2 years now. It's like a year and a half.
You love it. And you can do that in Texas.
Yeah.
You can do
so
that
I'm
anywhere.
remote. Like our company's based in Minnesota. I'm remote. Like
awesome.
So it's like I'm head of partnerships at the company. So it's like in my department, like we work to bring in all the new celebrities, all the new foundations.
Yeah.
You know, and most of it's Zoom meetings too, because a lot of the foundations that we work with, they're all over the country. So they're not just based in LA.
Right.
And I think that's a big misconception. It's like, yes, the agents and the talent managers and the PR, they're all here. But the celebrities, it's like they're living all over the place now. Yeah. They've all gotten out of LA.
They've all moved.
So it's like I can go somewhere else, still run that job. And, you know, it's like if this is the last job I ever have, I would do this, you know, until the wheels fall off, essentially. Like I never thought I'd say that. Because I've worked in other jobs and I'm like, I got to get the hell out of here. I want to stay at this place.
Yeah. That's awesome. I love that. That's actually really inspiring for me because now that I'm on my next chapter, I'm like, what am I gonna do? I'm still gonna do stand up and stuff like that, but there's like what's on the other side of that, you know?
Yeah.
I love that. What's the funniest lesson you've learned through all of this?
The funniest lesson I've learned, I don't know if it's the funniest, but I honestly think it's like the one that my wife always reminds me of is just stop keeping the mask on the whole time. It's like you're probably going to smack somebody if they're going to make fun of you. So just be goofy anyways. And until that happens. So it's like, just be funny, be goofy, be the nerdy version of yourself that like you wanted to be in elementary school, but now you have the physicality to back it up. If someone talks shit, you know? So it's like, I have these two really good friends at our group chat on our text is called the sick fucks. And so we're always just sending messed up memes to each other. But the two of them, you wouldn't want to get in a fist fight with them. Like I would take them into a back alley with me if I had to fight somebody. Yeah. But they are the nerdiest, goofiest people in the world. It's like one played college football, like the other guy. Like, I mean, they're so funny, but they're also very intimidating. So I'm surrounded by like the right people that perfectly complement who I've become. Yeah. Which is fantastic.
Yeah. A little bit of both. I love that.
So it's really just embrace who you are.
Yeah.
Surround yourself with people that also embrace who they are and welcome, you to that kind of mindset.
Awesome. Yeah. Thank you for sharing, man. That's awesome. Anything, where can people follow you at?
Just at Blake Reading on Instagram. Okay. That's usually the main place. If you want fitness stuff, TikTok, Blake Reading Fit.
There it is.
There it is. Yeah. We've got a lot of really exciting upcoming ones. We're giving away cars, trips, red carpet premieres, terminal list with Taylor Kitsch right now.
Oh, yay. Yeah. Okay.
So there's some really fun stuff going on. And I mean, it's really great for awareness. So it's like, if you really want to raise a heck of a lot of money for your foundation, that's the way to go about it, with giving away a really cool prize, because it's incentivizing people to donate even more.
Okay. I love that. Thank you for doing this.
Yes.
Thank you.
Definitely.
All right, guys, that's a wrap for us. So you can follow me at The Funny Thing Is Podcast on all socials, or at Nicole Birch Comedy on all socials, or you can look at my website, NicoleComedy.com, and we will see you again next week. Be nice to each other. Bye.